My name's Mike. Last name is Rohde, but man, people really can't seem to pronounce that correctly. So I'm just rolling with it. Road Soda. That's my channel, and this is my boat. She's a big project. Follow along as I build her back up and get her sailing again. So this whole thing is done pretty funky. The deck level is around here. So, and I just realized that this piece is kind of ready to go. So I think what I'm going to do is just chop the top portions of the sides of these steps, and then that'll pretty much clear me to do whatever I want, because I'm not going to come down any farther than that deck level. And then I can start, looking into framing, start getting measurements, figuring out where I want the new companionway to be. Like I said, built pretty funky. So these bolts, if you can see them, they go through to another deck beam repair that's just after this bulkhead. It's not pretty. I think it's decently strong, and this whole bulkhead is here, so I'm not totally sure how much attention I'll give that. I gotta get all this stuff off before I can really start cutting and building it. I'm gonna relieve it and just pull it off the deck and kind of suspend it up above the deck. So this aft mast is not centered. It's off by a ½ an inch. I'm not going to relocate the partners. So I'm going to build the companionway to center line. They're just going to be a little staggered. So I got the general layout figured out on this. I'm moving it to center line. I'm taking the 20-inch width, making that 25 inches wide, and then I'm just thinking over the process of how to go about this. This beam will stay. That's as far forward as we'll go, which isn't ideal, but I'm trying to limit the work. I'll start with patching this ply in, then I can build that, new ply here, and then we'll frame in our new companionway. All right, I'm sure a lot of you are gonna cringe at this, but that's all right. So when I pulled the ply off of here, this broke off with the ply. I just peeled it off the ply, just glue this thing right back on. Perfectly happy with that. Let's get this boat sailing. I don't want to work on this thing forever. I'm gonna get out of the yard. All right. So rather than laminate this, I'm just going to use a solid piece of Doug fir. And obviously I'm making this piece right here. So last thing yesterday, I cut some bad wood out of this carlin from the other side that I cut off and just patched in some good wood, but it's obviously pretty messy. So I'm just going to clean this up and then we'll be able to use it to replace this spot over here. I didn't film it, but I just pre-drilled where all my fasteners are going to be. Baby's ready to glue. Let's do it. Well, you guys may have noticed while I was gluing this in, I put this piece backwards. It needed to be spun 180. So this cabin top beam is obviously not parallel. This, it bums me out. Honest mistake. I noticed when the glue had already started kicking. So at that point it was like, you know, to fix it would basically be like demo, possibly ruin some pieces, have to build more. So I thought about it. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just, it's a bummer. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but strength-wise, functionality should be perfectly fine. So I'm gonna roll with it. I want to get this on. We can do the cutout for the, you know, companionway where you step through. And got one more beam to do over there under the camera. And then probably call it good for this little project for now, for today. Well, we have a companionway. I'm happy with how this came out. I'm glad it's done. Obviously, it wasn't the smoothest operation. So I'm calling this good for now, just having it all framed in. Now we can glass up to it. This allows us to continue with everything else, and that's kind of what I'm going for in this stage. So in the next video, we're going to get started with the cockpit layout, and the big thing is going to be putting the cockpit combings in. Once I get the layout done, figure out where the sunken well is going to be, figure out where the combings are going to be, and install and glass those, then I can finish all the glass work on the deck. And that's obviously the biggest priority with this whole phase of the project in the yard here. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I can't believe it's episode 6. Time is really flying by. Thank you again to everybody who's watching these, especially those of you that are watching all the way through. I'm so appreciative of that. There are donation links in the description. Those of you that have taken advantage of that and contributed, I really can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching to the end, and I'll have another one out soon, episode 7. Thanks, guys.